No, you can't lose like that.
He sits in sight and hunts, and Yakindar passive, back on connector, peeks and swings and closes. Team Liquid with a dismantling of the FaZe clan. We've got Twist over towards the stairs, just trying to keep them alive.
My God!
But it doesn't seem possible now. The improbable, but the always there FaZe clan run back in 11-1 half unless Naf and he goes on. Can you believe it?
For those of you who were fortunate enough to have missed it, we may have just witnessed the greatest choke in CS2 history. Liquid, after clawing back to force overtime against FaZe and win map 2, proceeded to go up 11-1 on map 3. But despite getting their 12th, TL couldn't secure that final round needed, allowing FaZe to come all the way back and beat them in overtime. It was a hard watch to say the least, a historic blow up in this new game's young life, and as a result, Liquid will be missing out on Cologne despite how good they've looked these past few weeks. But somehow, because I need to make excuses, I've been huffing enough copium to think that maybe this wasn't all that bad. Please allow me to explain. For a bit of context, the previous TL roster with Zeus, Skulls, and Cadian was shit. On paper, it did seem like they'd be a banger, but they couldn't pull anything together. The now infamous European roster before that was equally as bad, but that time around they didn't have the excuse of an IGL that wasn't meshing with the rest of the team. So TL made some much needed changes, and while JKS was a very popular choice, there were those who would have liked to see a more decorated coach and an Opera with more experience. But to be fair, those picks did also come with some praise, especially since those spots have become increasingly difficult to fill. And they weren't even the most controversial of changes the team made. You see, with Cadian out, Twist would be stepping up as IGL. TL's best player, one of the best players in the world, was now going to be calling the shots for the first time ever. And this could have spelled disaster. We have seen superstar players struggle attempting to take on this added responsibility before. But come their first event as a new roster, it seemed like Twist was cooking.
Flit with the double P250. Oh, he cleans him up almost. Twist trying to fall away. He's down to just 2 bullets. Jame, half health, Glocks out, tapped out of it. Twist with the 1v3. There for the taking. Slight miss, half his health's gone. Oh, Twist keeps up the pressure. Can Norbert's MP9 stop them from getting on site? Oh, the pre-fire out of Twist. He hopes to get them to exit, but Wonderful can find nothing in the meantime. Lightning strikes twice. Haters hold up. Doubters be damned. Team Liquid, led by Twist, qualified for the fall final.
With Twist leading the team, TL burst through the gate, defeating VP and Na'Vi, the world #1 team, twice. Come the Cologne 2024 play-ins, TL kept winning, making it all the way to the lower bracket final, only having lost to one other team. However, if they wanted to make it to the historic Lanxess Arena, TL had to first beat FaZe, who were the only team to have beaten them. And things didn't start off great. Liquid fell in map 1 and continued to struggle a little bit on Nuke. But that's when their new, underestimated Opera decided to turn it on. It seemed like someone just snapped their fingers and TL suddenly started to click again against the only team to have bested them.
Forward alongside his teammate, and as he falls, it sets up Robs, but there is still a chance. Frozen gets an angle down lower, and as his teammates look to get through, it's a deep position out of JKS, who's been negligible at best. As of late, they do hang on. Towards Fenton gets the first, that's JKS taken down, and Brokey survives. Now you've given him a shot. He puts it on top, and Yakinder nades him out. It's Team Liquid to push this OT. But Naf's secondary op, it's not the first time we've seen it in this series. And they're not able to get past either one. Ultimate hanging on to the red box. Oh, he tracks down Frozen. And then JKS finds Kerrigan. Twist is set up perfectly. He's side by side with Rain. And what do you know? As the game goes on,
no way.
Liquid get greater.
After getting defeated in overtime like that, FaZe were clearly deflated. So much so that TL continued to shit kick them 11-1 in the first half of Mirage. You even had Brokey out of his goddamn mind, popping off after winning a single pistol round.
Got a first kill for FaZe, but can it be enough? Kerrigan, oh, he's looking for a second, and he'll get there. But we've got the bench player peeking deep, covered off by Market. Yes, FaZe can answer.
FaZe ended up getting one more before Liquid stole it back, putting them on series point. So all Twist and Co had to do was win one round, and it was off to the playoffs for this new roster. But as we all know with Team Liquid, that can be easier said than done. TL kept losing their fights. ropz, who was seemingly absent, came online, and a couple rounds turned into 5 rounds, and then suddenly, FaZe were making a seemingly impossible comeback.
So he's going to be waiting on high alert, but he misses his chance to strike down the first. And then Rain fires off 8 shots without hitting 1. The jungle peaks perfection. ropz slides out with a double. And then as he tries to fall back, Rain's got that cover provided. This one is excellence from FaZe. And there is nobody to come out from Palace. Can he hang on? ropz again into the kill feed. He turns it back, and Rain's going to deliver. Off of a man disadvantage, they will give no ground. Gets the first 2 kills, and with a quarter health, he drops into the bomb site, surrounded still, and yet they give him that bit of respect, but he just doesn't have the time. The nade will find him. Can you believe your eyes?
Yeah,
it's another classic FaZe comeback. We've got Twist over towards the stairs, just trying to keep them alive.
My God.
But it doesn't seem possible now. The improbable, but the always there FaZe clan run back in 11-1 half unless Naf and he goes on. Can you believe it?
Extremely brutal scenes for any NA fans out there, and it didn't help that Burke, after winning, double flipped off his former teammate for the second time that series either. Now, as for how FaZe was able to pull off a comeback like this, ropz said in a post-match interview that the roster had gotten a lot better at remaining positive during these tough situations. So, they used that development to keep their comms calmer and put the pressure on Liquid to try and close it out. And we have seen blowups just like this one happen before for very similar reasons. But still, it was going so well for Team Liquid. Twist was looking great, despite just becoming IGL. And I mean, he was by far the most lethal player on the team despite that extra responsibility. Still, they couldn't get it done. But this is honestly why I think there's a silver lining to this. First off, Team Liquid is cursed, and real downbads will know that they have a history of choking in brutal fashion, regardless of who is on the team. But to see Twist come into a role like this and get praised by the likes of Kerrigan, take responsibility for the shortcomings, it's a good sign. And FaZe is still the only team to have beaten this new roster. If that is the only mountain they have to climb, defeating FaZe, there are worse problems to have. And it's clear that Twist and his team still have a lot to learn. Now, obviously, winning is better than that shit show, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise to get a heartbreak like this out of the way so soon. Because a mistake like this one, dropping an 11-1 lead, that's not one you make twice. Right? It was funny to see like Dimitri in Slack and on Twitter posting about how hyped he was. He was like, they came back on overtime, now they're shit pumping them. And then just, I haven't seen him tweet since. It was just crickets.